Hey, I'm Luna from Sensual Artistry.
And I'm Sanya, somatic sexologist and empowerment coach. And in this video, we're gonna tell you 5 things that you can do to make your kinky play more primal.
Yeah, so I love primal play. It's so much fun. And one thing I love about Tantra is that Tantra actually is something that really embraces the primal, the wild, and all parts of your being and integrating all parts. And a lot of people find that they are a bit disconnected or a bit scared of their primal. Like in a lot of women, there's a lot of judgment around the wild woman and witches, and there's been a lot of persecution, and around men, there's a lot of fear around being a predator in a negative way. So a lot of people have a lot of shame around the primal, but consciously diving in and getting to explore and play with it is super liberating and super fun. So that's why we wanted to share about it here.
Yeah, and there's different forms how the primal can show up in each of us, and it can show up in different forms also in different days. So the primal can be quite wild and loud and raw, and sometimes get even a bit ugly, and you might have like funny face or whatever. And the primal can also be very still and very internal, and just feeling, for example, very much the connection to earth and to nature, or to maybe when you're outside, the wind. So there's different forms, this more stiller one, the more sensual one, there is the wild one, the loud one, there is the really crazy one, and you can experiment and really find your truth in every moment.
And so you can make your primal play really conscious by a few different ways. I love creating a primal ritual because this is an intentional space and a container where we say, like, we're going to go into our primal, like, for this little amount of time on this day. This is where we give space to the primal. You can also have pauses in between and have moments, either eye gazing or meditating, where you reconnect to yourself and then let yourself go maybe a layer deeper, a layer wilder. And also breath work is one of the most amazing tools that we have, because if you go into a deep breathwork process, then you can start getting out of your cortex, regular day, overthinking mind, and get into your limbic system, get into your primal brain, into your body, and follow your instincts more and be more present. So doing some powerful breathwork before playing will really take it to a different dimension.
So what you might want to do, for example, you can set up some music and start with a dance. So when we dance, we really start to move our body in movements that are free, like really allowing yourself to forget about any dance moves, to forget about anything that you learned, to forget about how this could potentially look, just really allowing your body to express whatever wants to come through. You can put on some really good tribal music that is there, where there's a lot of drums, usually works really good and brings out that bit more that, like, yeah, tribal feeling in us. And working with sounds. So even while you're dancing or in this kind of maybe even jumping or stamping mode, you want to start to make sounds and really let them out, coming from your core, from your belly, opening your voice, your throat chakra, and really letting out whatever wants to come. That can be grunting, that can be sighing, screaming, gibberish, whatever wants to come. And this thing with the sounds, you can also actually incorporate in your lovemaking. Again, like Luna said, setting up a ritual. So the other one is knowing what's coming, and try lovemaking with a lot of sounds, with really unconditioned sounds.
And finally, play fighting is an awesome way to step into the primal. I love play fighting. I love running primal play fighting workshops. So giving this space to just roll around with your partner, to kind of push each other around, and not in a way that's, trying to hurt or having one person really like purposely dominating the other, but just this little push and pull, like you see puppy dogs and lots of different animals playing and rolling around, and it can just be so fun and so freeing to do like this, to allow yourself to growl, to attack, to you can see if you give each other permission to bite or scratch, or if you prefer it a little bit more soft even. But yeah, play fighting is a lot of fun, a great way to start playing with that primal dynamic.
Totally. And the other things, like we said, is basically building up to this primal play, and then we go into it much more also in our online course that we created together, the Art of Tantric Kink. So if you're interested in that, or also in fantasy play, that's another section we cover, then you should definitely look that one up.